Hey there, my brothers and sisters. Vessel of Truth here, Jay from Virginia for the new people. And just wanted to do a video of basically just talking about a few things. I get a lot of people that email me and, they want me to talk about this, talk about that. And I'm not one to really voice my opinions because basically my opinion, for the most part, is what the Word says. I've always listened to that old adage and saying of, who cares about opinions, because opinions are like buttholes, everybody's got one. And I know that I am but flesh, and everyone else down here is but flesh, for the most part, maybe. And our opinions doesn't really matter. It's the Father's opinion. We're all about, having a service in the honor of the Father, and, then talking about how wonderful and great of a time we had. But, the question is, did the Father think it was good? And I've been making that more and more and more a part of my life for the last, 10 or so years. And one of the biggest things that I find that's lacking is love for our brethren, our sisters. And, I'm not going to lie. First and foremost, it's hard. It is hard to sit down at the same table and break bread with an enemy. It's hard to forgive some people for things that they've done to us or said about us. But Christ was our example. Look at how many years he walked and slept together and broke bread together with Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed him. And he loved him and treated him no different than the other 11. And, that speaks volumes to me that, it's not a joke when he said, love those who persecute you. And, as I've said in past videos, we're coming closer and closer to the end. And it is more apparent now than ever that the love of many has waxed cold. People don't care who they've got to step on or hurt to get ahead. And, in the days ahead, we're going to get our just desserts, because it's those people that stepped on people and hurt people that are going to be the first to be killed when the end kicks off. For us who are truly Yahuah's children, we can't turn away people that are hungry or need shelter, even to our detriment, even if they're going to kill us through the night. Because everything is the Father's anyway. He who seeks to save his life will lose it, but he who loses his life for my name's sake shall find it. These aren't just words. The enemy has destroyed all the things that were used to be called morals. Marriage nowadays is made such a mockery of. And then you have people that think that they just love someone to death and will marry them only to be a selfish snob and get rid of them because they won't bow down and kiss my butt. You know, family values no longer exists. Disciplining of children no longer exists. People don't want the responsibility, for the most part, to raise their own children. They send them, to these indoctrination centers called schools to be taught by the government. All this curriculum that they don't even need to know about. They're teaching, that men can be women in kindergarten and that men can have periods too, and that there's more than just two sexes. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This is basically just a blunt, cold, hard truth of reality check. There's no shortage of people griping and complaining about the way things are, but yet there is a shortage of people that will get up off of their butt and go out and do something and say something. And you ain't got a right to gripe about nothing unless you're up off of your butt trying to do something about it. Who do you think you are? Oh, we're the silent majority. Well, yeah, keep being silent and see where it gets you, dummy. I'm not being mean. This isn't rocket science. Stupid is a choice. Ignorance can be fixed. And, the plight of mankind is just getting worse and worse. They are doing this. Shortages of food is coming very soon. The economy is going bye-bye. The freedom of this so-called free nation of the United States will be took down. The leaders that we have today are because we have such an evil country. They have given away all of our armament, all of our ammunition, all of our missiles, all of our rockets. Our soldiers are being trained with, BB guns. And I know that the word of Yahuah is going to come to pass no matter what. But I just pray that there would be more people that would wake up to the truth that we're headed down the wrong path. The path that the United States is headed is on destruction, and we will be destroyed. We'll no longer be the world power. The world power is going to be China soon. Out of the ashes of the war that's coming, of everybody roasting marshmallows over the United States burning, will come a world leader that will bring peace and prosperity for a time. And this world leader, we already know who he'll be. And I'm not bashing anyone, but anyone that says that it's Trump, it's Obama, it's Biden, if you read the book of Revelation, it flat out tells you that the son of perdition, the Antichrist, the beast, comes out of the bottomless pit. Just as John the Baptist had the spirit of Elijah upon him, so will this individual have the spirit of Nimrod upon them, who was a Nephilim. The days ahead are going to get darker and darker. Look at how many people just in the United States within the last year, from January this year to now, who have basically the clothes on their back. They lost their house, they lost their cars, they lost all material things. And you know what? You're not a threat when all you have is the clothes on your back. They're burning people out. Those that they're not burning out, they're flooding out. Those that, they're not burning or flooding, they're scorching them with heat or drought, thirsting them to death. This is all in the pages of the book of Revelation. Weather is being controlled. Don't believe any of the garbage that's coming across that TV. Anything that they're saying, believe the direct opposite. People want to fight about, the shape of the earth. I tell you, go back to Genesis chapter 1 and read it and tell me what you come out believing. Because you're not going to walk away believing we a globe. I'll leave it at that. Let God be God and every man a liar. Because all the men that's lining up to tell us that we're on a globe and we're going to space and Mars and all that, they're Masons. Just call it what it is. They're liars. It's controlled opposition. Cartoons of NASA. How gullible and stupid have we become? Brothers and sisters, I don't care if you go to church every day of your life, them indoctrination centers. If you're not studying the word for yourself to see if that fat cat preacher teacher's telling you the truth, you in sin. If you're not abiding by the law of God, walking in obedience, guess what? You don't love the Father. He says, if you say you do, you a liar. That's right out of my favorite book, 1 John chapter 2, verses 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you're not walking in obedience, you're walking in disobedience. So what's disobedience? Disobedience is lawlessness. What's lawlessness? Well, according to 1 John chapter 3, verse 4, lawlessness is sin. For anyone who breaks the law commits sin. Don't hand me this garbage that the law passed away. You a liar. You just looking for an excuse to keep eating your pork and living like the devil. It's time to come out amongst them. Come out of Babylon. Because if you stay, you're going to die in your sin. And then you're going to burn. This is strong, I know, but it's the truth. I love you, and I don't want anyone to die and go to hell. This is not hidden from anyone anymore. They are so arrogant. They're doing it in front of everyone. Things have got to the point where there's nothing we can do about it except pray. You better make sure you're in the hands of the Father, because if you're not, you'll have your part in what's coming. The Father said He'll protect His. If you're the Church of Philadelphia, He'll save us from the hour of tribulation that comes upon. He's going to protect us from it. I don't know how. I think it'll be just like it was in Exodus, whenever He used Moses to deliver the children of Israel out of Egypt. He gave them a place of Goshen. Goshen means safety. And right in the middle of hell on earth, the death of the firstborn and all of these things, the plagues that hit, they were fine and protected. We got a greater exodus coming. But you're not going to be protected if you're not one of the Father's children. And I'm not talking about one of these people that say that you know him but don't live for him. If you're not walking the walk, don't talk the talk. Because there's a lot of people shooting their mouth off talking about how they love the Father, but there's such a darkness coming from them. And there's too many cowards that won't stand up and speak the truth. Well, I'll not blow smoke up anyone's butt. I'm going to tell you the truth, even if it makes you mad at me. Because I'm not worried about your fleshly body. I'm worried about your soul. You know, people are more worried about themselves, selfishness, lust, money, things, greed. Do you not know that we'll walk on streets of gold? Gold is nothing more than pavement to the Father. The kingdom, all the walls are made of 12 different pearls. There'll be diamonds and jaspers and sardises and all that in the walls. If you're not dependent upon the Father, what do you need him for? It's why he said it's so hard for a rich person to go to heaven, the kingdom. Let's put it that way. Because we didn't lose heaven, we lost the kingdom. We're kingdom citizens. We're mandated by the Father to go around teaching the gospel of the kingdom, not Jesus Christ and him crucified. I know that makes people mad, but it was the gospel that Christ preached. It is the law of the Father that's perfect in the converting of a soul. The whole world is a stage, brothers and sisters. People that are, idolizing these celebrities. You need to stop, because Hollywood, they live in the upside down. The men were born women. The women were born men. Victoria's Secret is their models are men. If you want fame and fortune, you have to sign the dotted line in blood. It's one big club and you're not in it unless you sign. There is no mystery here. The truth is in front of you. You got all these people that go around and they make their little eyeball signs and their little pyramid signs and their little hand gestures and their little handshakes. They let everybody know who they are and who their God is. And they're arrogant enough to think that they're going to whoop the Father in the end. Wrong. I'm not mad, but my heart bleeds for people because I just see things getting worse and worse and worse, and I see the bickering and the hatred amongst the supposed flock. 500,000 denominations, but yet there's only one true creator who sent his son There's only one word, one interpretation of that word. But we have 500,000 denominations. Why? There's only two types of people in the world. You're either a child of the Father or a child of the devil. There's no option C. All these people that go around, they dress in black and they say, they're a Gothic Christian or they are a vampiric Christian or a New Age Christian. Brothers and sisters, there ain't anything but a child of Yahuah who's under the blood. That word Christian nowadays has so much baggage. I don't use it much. Because, I don't want people thinking that I'm like the four-wall indoctrination centers, because I am day and night different. We're not to celebrate the beast feasts. Xmas and Ishtar to pagan gods. Have you not read your word that we are not to do as the heathen does? Who are you to tempt God and say that he really didn't mean it? And you don't think he's going to care about what you put in your mouth when you are his temple, when you receive the blood of Christ upon you? Wrong. He cares. It's his show, his way or burn. You know how people always made fun? Oh yeah, turn or burn, man. Well, that's the truth. Turn or burn. Free will. And people, sometimes they just need a radical wake-up call. And this has been building and building and building in me. And yet, people can still complain and they can see all the problems that's going on, but yet they are mute because they don't want to offend nobody. Have you read the words of Christ? Have you? He was bolder than a lion. He said what needed to be said. And if they didn't like it, they could lump it. Because the truth is the truth, even if you say it's a lie. Want to make fun of me because I walk in total obedience to the best of my ability. I keep the dietary laws. I keep his feasts because they're not Jewish feasts. They're his feasts. And we're commanded to do them forever. That's like keeping the seventh-day Sabbath that was never moved to the first-day Sabbath, the sun god day. That is the mark of authority of the Catholic Church. They love to brag about it. We have more power than Christ here because we changed the Sabbath to its rightful day. Wrong. Why do you think the fourth commandment begins with, remember you, the Sabbath, and keep it holy? Because God in his infinite wisdom knew that in the days of the end, we would have walked away from it and forgot about it. Sin is still sin whether you see it or not, or admit it or not. You'll still be judged by it. Stealing is a sin. Lying is a sin. Turning away a brother that needs help when it's within your ability to help them is a sin. Cussing at drivers that do stupid things because they almost hit you or got in your way or made you late is a sin. Impure, lustful thoughts is a sin if you dwell upon them and not cast them out. Sin is still sin, even if you say it's not. You're not God. Brothers and sisters, this world is going to hell. And we need laborers. The harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. People are afraid to step out because they'll be persecuted. Well, I'm going to tell you, 100% you will be. And I'm not a prophet. I know you will be because it says so in His Word. So as long as you're being persecuted and all hell's breaking loose in your life and the devil is beating you with a hammer in all places, you're on the right road. But if you're just living your life and everything's just fine and dandy, hit your knees because you're headed for the wrong place. I love every one of you, and I'm not going to lie to you. This road to live for the Father is hard. It's tiring. It disgusts you at times. At the worthlessness of people at times. How selfish they are. How rude and hateful. But it's us that need to live letting the light of the Father shine for others to see. Then they want what we want. And when you're paying the price, seeking the face of the Father, reading His Word, worshiping Him, and getting closer and closer and closer to Him, you can lay hands on the sick and they'll be healed. You can cast out devils and they will leave. Where is your boldness? We're commanded to colonize this earth in the form of heaven and occupy it until He comes back. What have you done for Him? Have you told anyone about Him? Do people even know that you're His child? Or would they have to interrogate you? If someone broke in and stole all of your stuff and went through your computer, your phone, would they know you're a child of God? Or would they say, man, this dude's a wicked person? What would they find on your phone? What would they find in your browser history? All that stuff you'll be judged for. But then again, the government has copies of it too, and they'll use it against you in time. We're all going to die sooner or later. It's appointed unto man once to die. Even those that are alive when He comes will instantly die and be transformed. It's your choice on whether or not you die again at the second death. I know this may put a lump in your heart, may put a lump in your stomach, or it may just make you sick. But the Father don't need any more closet Christians, undercover agents, turncoat spies, people that play both sides against the middle. The Father needs holy children that He can work through, use them as His hands and His mouthpiece to show the evil people that there is a better way. He needs to show off that we can love one another. He done overcome the world. All we got to do is walk as Christ walked, and we'll have that same victory. It's a promise. You'll never see me begging for bread because I have that promise. You've never seen the righteous forsaken nor the seed begging bread. The Father done promised all his children that he would guarantee that he would give us our daily bread, even if he has to use the birds to bring it to us. Some of us may be killed for his name. So be it. He died for us. Why can't we die for him? This will be the only hell I will know. If you are his child, this will be the only hell you'll know. To die is gain. It's time you start seeing it the way it needs to be seen. And it's way past time that you start walking the walk the way it should be walked. You can't go around and be part of your friends at work telling dirty jokes and lying and gossiping about people. Gossip, causing strife amongst the brethren, is one of the 7 things the Father hates. Lying lips is another. It's just cut and dry, brothers and sisters. Repent. Turn from your wicked ways. Start stepping out, sharing the truth with people. I'm talking all of the truth. That about the roll up the sleeve crap, the weather controlled, all of it. Don't all at one time, but work on people. First and foremost, where do they stand with the Father? Salvation is the biggest thing. Everything else can come later. Please think about this. Don't be afraid of nothing. Death will just set us free. I pray you take this to the Father, seeking his face, because I'm not lying to you. There's so much more I could say, so much further I could go in depth about the plight of mankind, but it's kind of self-obvious. Just look out the door, turn on the tube, and listen to the lies. Everybody lying, everybody lying. Every show about homosexuality or, twin binary, whatever. 12 different sexes, and, or the new age way to reaching the Father. Sorry, ain't happening. There's only one way. Brothers and sisters, I love you. I'm praying for each and every one of you. I'll do all that I can. That's why I give you my email every time. My email is jtt1777@outlook.com. If you need prayer or just want to chit-chat back and forth, trade information to where we text back and forth or even talk on the phone, I'm willing. I'm not one of them people that just says it. I actually do it. I actually care. I don't want anybody to go to hell. Everybody can be forgiven. I just ask that you continue to pray for me. Pray that the Father would use these videos to get to whoever he wants to see them. It's his channel. I just speak what he puts on my mind, my heart. I love you all. I pray the blessings of Yahuah be upon you. And I'll just leave it at that. Yahuwah bless you and keep you always. Please take this to the Father in prayer. Open the book of Revelation and start reading. You'll see exactly what's going on. Until the next time, my brothers and sisters, Yahuwah bless you.